You open your eyes. The air is heavy, hot, not beach summer hot, more like July in ancient Rome hot. The blanket covering you feels damp. This isn't morning sunlight. This is Roman morning heat, straight from the gods. Your back rests against something hard, definitely stone. No mattress, just a sack stuffed with straw, half crushed, half poking through. You want to get up, but your body gently warns you. This might not be a great idea. You raise your arm and it hits something sharp. Cold. Stone, maybe? Or is that a bone? You reach for your phone. Not there. No lamp, no window. Just a cracked stone wall and spiderwebs above you. Congratulations. You've woken up in ancient Rome. And yes, this is just the first minute of your day. You place your feet on the ground. The stone floor is cold enough to sting, but somehow the air is still suffocating. A small cockroach strolls past your toes. It's not even in a hurry. You step outside the room, a narrow stone corridor. The wall to your right is cracked. To your left, a sour, damp smell. You hear the distant sounds of the market waking up. A man dumps a bucket of liquid out a high window. It splashes into a puddle below, sharp and wet. You don't know what it was, but your nose is sure you don't want to find out. The street is waking up. A woman heads to market with a basket on her head. Children run barefoot, yelling, holding something you can't identify. A soldier walks by. Best not to look. You're still trying to wake up. Breakfast? You haven't even imagined it yet? Toilet? You have no idea where that is. Fresh air? It's just recycled breath from the people around you. But worst of all, no one said welcome, because nobody here cares that you're here. So yes, you're in Rome. But Rome really couldn't care less. Need the bathroom? Sorry, it's a horror show. Before you even think about breakfast, you need to use the bathroom. Simple need, but nothing is simple anymore. You turn the corner. There's something written on the wall. Latin. You can't read it. But judging by the look on the man standing under it, it's probably not something encouraging. You ask someone where the toilet is. He doesn't understand. The second person just nods in a vague direction. You follow. Eventually, you find it. No door, no sign, just an open area and a short line of men waiting. You step in, and what you see is something your modern brain will immediately reject. A long row carved out of stone, evenly spaced, round holes, side by side. Beneath them, a shallow water channel. And through that channel, things are moving, not clean things. Worse, everyone's sitting down, next to each other. No stalls, no walls, no curtains, no privacy, just eye contact. A man dips a sponge into the water with his left hand, then uses it to clean himself. That sponge is shared, and throughout the day, everyone will use it. You leave before it's your turn, for now at least. But this is only the beginning. There's no soap, no toilet paper, no scent-free sanitizing wipes. Rome hasn't even imagined such things. As for bathing, that's a whole different nightmare. Breakfast, if you can call it that. You survived the toilet. You made eye contact with a 2,000-year-old sponge. That alone should earn you a reward. Breakfast. At least, you hope so. You step into a market street. It's already crowded. A child shouts, "Oliva! Oliva!" In his basket, olives, black, wrinkled, salty, and that's it. You approach another stall. They're selling bread. But this isn't the soft, fresh bread you know. This is hard as stone, baked in a fire pit. The crust is nearly blackened. It won't break with your bite. Your bite will break with it. You whisper to yourself, "Okay, where's the coffee?" Ah, sweet innocence. There's no coffee in Rome. No tea. Orange juice? There's barely an orange to begin with. A man walks past, drinking from a clay jug. The smell hits you. Vinegar, diluted with water. Not iron, not juice. A drink called posca. Soldiers drink it. Poor farmers drink it. You don't. You can't. In ancient Rome, the morning doesn't start to satisfy the stomach. It starts so you can survive another day, and you're still hungry. A stone-like bite in your mouth. A cloud of vinegar in the air, and still no coffee. You're going to stay a little hungry today. But don't worry. Worse things are coming. Ancient Roman fashion, the dressing nightmare. Your stomach is half full. Your spirit is already tired. But still, you want to look human. A little presentable, at least. Sounds simple? Not in Rome. Getting dressed in ancient Rome is an art form, and most days, a disaster. You open a chest. Inside is not a t-shirt. Pants? Nope. Socks? Never heard of. Underwear? Rome didn't budget for that. What's in front of you is one giant piece of fabric and a lifetime's worth of trial and error. You pick up the toga, toss one end over your left shoulder, wrap it around your waist, bring it behind your back, swing it over again, let it hang somewhere, and then you're supposed to tie it. 5 minutes later, it's still hanging weird, your left shoulder is slipping, your right leg is making an uninvited appearance, you're sweating, and kind of embarrassed. Dressing in ancient Rome feels a lot like being a living curtain, and right now, you're the wrinkled, crooked version. You look for sandals. There they are, but leather, with strings, and shaped for some other foot, and of course, no heel support. Orthopedic shoes? Rome skipped that invention. You step out into the street. You were hoping to feel more composed, but you feel worse. The toga slides off your shoulder. The sandal unties itself. A passerby gives you a long stare, and that stare says one thing: outsider. In Rome, people notice you immediately by how you walk, by how you dress, by how quiet you are. And this city doesn't handle different with patience. Status. Even the way you walk says something in Rome. You've stepped outside. Your toga still slipping. Your sandal still digging into your heel. But you're adjusting, or at least pretending to. The sun climbs higher. The heat is crawling into your bones. But what you feel most are the eyes. People glance at you. Quick, calculated. Because this is ancient Rome. And here, everything begins and ends with your status. You see an old man crouched in a corner. His clothing is even rougher than yours. In his hands, a small wooden bowl. Someone passing by scolds him without stopping. "You again, filthy mutt." The man doesn't respond, just lowers his head. You keep walking, but something echoes in your mind. What if I'm just like him? A group of men are working at a construction site. Hammer, stone, rope, under full sun. One of them locks eyes with you. His hands are thick with calluses, but he doesn't smile. Maybe he can't. Maybe he's not allowed to, because he's a slave. And in Rome, slaves don't really get to smile. In Rome, people aren't just people. They're either owners or the owned. And in between, there are some. But most of the time, they end up crushed just the same. You turn a corner and see a bronze plaque. Cautio, Mercatus Servorum. Warning, slave market. You didn't misread it. A slave market. A place where people are bought and sold, and no one looks twice. Because here, being a slave is the same as being furniture. You look at yourself. You haven't spoken. You haven't shown ID. So who are you? If someone here claimed you were a slave, who would stop them? No one knows your name. No one would defend you. So yes, maybe you're free. But here in Rome, freedom is as fragile as a piece of parchment. You see a man carrying another man on his back. Not a friend, a slave, like a crate. The slave says nothing, his face already bruised. Or worse, you look away. But that's Rome. The things you don't look at often say the most about you. If you want to survive here, you'll need to get used to more than hunger and thirst. You'll need to get used to looking away. Looking for work? Only the strong survive. Let's say you had breakfast. You got dressed. You're walking now. But something feels off. In this city, walking without a purpose draws attention. Because in Rome, no one just wanders. Standing around looks suspicious. So you begin to ask yourself, what am I supposed to do here? You pass a small shop. It's dark inside, but hot. A man is pumping a forge. Red sparks fly. He's hammering a piece of iron. With each strike, his eyes squint. No earplugs, no gloves, no protection. But also, no choice. There's a young apprentice next to him. Very young, but his hands already look old. In Rome, it's not about how easy your job is. It's about how long you can endure it. The longer you last, the more valuable you are. Fatigue? That's considered weakness. You keep moving. You find a potter. A woman. She's working the foot-powered wheel. Her hands are cracked from clay and water. There's a baby on her back. Behind her, a small boy, maybe hers. A jar slips. It shatters. She doesn't hesitate. Do it again and you'll get a slap. At the end of the street, soldiers, organized, proud, marching in rhythm. You wonder, maybe I should become a soldier. Security, respect, power. But then, a shout. One of them falls. His foot is bleeding. The commander leans over and simply says, "Stand up, walk or die." In Rome, being a soldier isn't a job. It's a sacrifice. But who benefits from that sacrifice? That's unclear. Once you're in, there's no leaving. Until what? Until retirement. Or until death. You pass a bakery, a small stone building. Heat blasts from the doorway. Inside, a nearly naked man covered in flour, sweat, and smoke. His face is pale white, but his eyes are darkened, like something inside is fading. You look in, just for a second. Then instinct makes you pull back. It's hard to breathe. Here, work doesn't mean living. Here, working means slowly burning through your own body. You don't know what job they'll assign you, but one thing's clear. Surviving Rome takes more than just a job. Cleanliness? Welcome to the Roman baths. At some point, you just give up. You're covered in dust. Sweat sticks to your skin. The soles of your feet are pitch black. Your hair is matted. And the smell under your nose. You're not even sure if it's coming from you anymore. You think, I need a shower. But a shower doesn't exist. A private bathroom at home. Also number in Rome. If you want to clean yourself, you go somewhere. The baths. You step inside, and it's like another world. Steam fills the room. Bodies, voices, nudity, and other things. One man walks by with a towel, not wrapped around him, just draped over his shoulder. Another lies on a stone slab, being scrubbed. An older man walks past and looks you up and down. It feels like he's evaluating you. First shock, nudity. Everyone's naked. No one cares, except you. In one corner, there's a small hole in the wall. Someone hands you a sponge. You look at it. It's wet. You smell it. Not good. Someone points and says, "Clean there, use it, put it back." You think, this sponge, how many people has it served today? But there's no time, no space, no negotiation. Use it and move on. In Rome, hygiene isn't about being clean. It's about routine. No soap, no shampoo, just heat and other people's leftover moisture. You sit on a stone bench. The man next to you is trimming his toenails. Someone in the corner is singing, loudly. Another guy is picking his teeth with his finger. Under the heavy steam, you're either sweating or melting. As you leave, someone pats your back. First time, you'll get used to it. You smile, but deep down you're thinking, I will never forget that sponge. In Rome, the body may get clean, but the mind, that might take a while. Feeling sick? Here comes the blade, not the cure. You've left the baths. Are you clean? Maybe. But the weakness hasn't left. You're struggling to stand. Your breath is shallow. A strange ache starts in your stomach. Was it bad garum? Or just Rome revealing itself? A woman grabs your arm. There's a healer around the corner. Go see him. You find a stone building that looks more like a shop. 2 people are waiting outside. One is coughing. The other holds a blood-soaked cloth. You make eye contact. And you instinctively take a step back. Inside, a table in front, an old man behind it. No hair on his head, but thick eyebrows. His robe is stained. He holds a blade in one hand and a small cloth sack in the other. From the sack, dried herbs. He stares, scans you slowly. Headache? Blurry vision? Weakness? Too much blood. You didn't even speak. Didn't have to. Diagnosis. Instant. In the next room, a stone slab. You're told to lie on your back. A cord wraps around your wrist. The man picks up a knife, not rusty, but it definitely doesn't shine. No one holds your hand. So you close your eyes. A slice, a wet warmth. Your blood spills. The man watches it drip, then nods. Clean, but weak. What does that mean? You don't know. He doesn't explain. Roman medicine is part ritual, part bravery, part wild guessing. Real knowledge doesn't exist. Only scrolls, beliefs, and tradition. The next patient is a child. Runny nose. The doctor ties a dried frog to his forehead. The mother recites a prayer. The child trembles, terrified. You don't want to look anymore. Another man enters. There's something heavy on his shoulder, like a stone. The doctor lifts it, weighs it, and says, enlarged liver. Requires stone therapy. Stone therapy? Just pressing a stone with another stone. As you leave, he gives you a small pouch. There's a herb inside. Smell this tonight. If you don't die, you're cured. And that's it. You've been treated. In Rome, living with illness is hard. But the treatment? Worse. Thirsty? Sorry. Even water is a gamble. You're tired, sweaty. Your mouth is bone dry. All you want now is one sip of water. Plain, cold, clear water. But you're in Rome, and here, water isn't so simple. You approach a fountain. It looks nice, carved from stone. A young boy is washing his hands beside it. But when you look closer, the water isn't fully clear. It's murky. And something seems to be floating in it. An old man stops you. Don't drink that. It rained yesterday. The sewers overflowed. Sewers? Yes. Rome's sewer system is clever, but not perfect. Rome prides itself on its aqueducts, giant channels bringing water from the mountains to the city. But that water, it travels through markets, through baths, through pipes that see everything. It carries everything with it. Finding clean water in Rome isn't a luxury. It's a miracle. So what do people drink? You see a group of men sitting at a stone table. Each holds a clay cup, not water, but vinegar mixed with water, posca. Because while they don't know about germs, they've figured out that water makes them sick. The solution: kill the water with vinegar, which means no pure water, no fresh taste, no chill, no clarity. You're still dreaming of a bottle of water, plastic, cold, the little click of the cap. But this is Rome, and here it's not caps that click, it's rocks. A woman waves you over. She holds out a clay jug. Drink. It's clean, she says, but when you smell it, that clean isn't your version of clean. In Rome, water is for survival, but every sip is a gamble. If you drink, you might get sick. If you don't, you're already weak. So the choice is yours. Be brave or stay thirsty. Dinner time. Want to escape Roman cuisine? You've been walking all day. The sun has burned your face. Dust, sweat, noise. And finally, it's evening. There are no street lamps. The sky slowly turns gray. But your stomach sends a much clearer signal. Food. Now. You spot a cart with smoke rising from it. Your instincts kick in. Food. Cooking. Something real. But as you get closer, the smell doesn't invite you in. It makes you want to walk away. A man is cooking fish in a large clay pot, but this isn't any fish you know. There's a white layer over it. The sauce beside it, thick, brown, and sour smelling. Garum, a fermented fish gut sauce, Rome's famous or infamous delicacy. In Rome, garum goes on everything. Bread, meat, vegetables, maybe even cereal, if cereal existed. Another stall offers a giant plate of greens. You're not sure what it is. Looks like cabbage, but raw, covered in flies. The seller doesn't care. You care even less now. A street away, laughter echoes from the window of a wealthy home. Inside, a long table, peacock meat, figures, honey, served by candlelight, on golden plates. Your plate? Hard bread, salted fish, vinegar mix. No plastic fork, no fork at all. It hasn't been invented yet. In Rome, eating isn't about satisfaction. It's about acceptance. Flavors are harsh. Smells are strong. Ingredients are limited. Hygiene, let's just say, it's missing. A child picks bread up off the ground and eats it. A dog steals a bone. And you? You bite into your dry bread. It fights back. But there's no alternative. What you eat today might seem basic to you. But in Rome, a sip of clean water, a slice of fresh bread, that's luxury. You close your eyes and ask yourself, will I ever get used to this? Or should I just stay hungry? Social class, patrician, plebeian, or just invisible. You've eaten, kind of. Something made it to your stomach. But now another kind of hunger is rising. To be seen, to belong. Across the street there's a grand building. Columns, marble steps, bronze doors. People exit with deep, commanding voices. Their togas are white, trimmed with purple. These are patricians, Rome's noble class, landowners, senators, recognized names. One of them has 4 slaves. One holds a shade. One stares at the ground. The other 2 stay silent. You don't even look like one of those slaves, because at least they belong to someone. You don't. You don't even have a label in this system. Across the way, a group of plebeians argue at a fountain. One man blocks another. Today we wait in line. No rich man cuts ahead. But 3 minutes later, a patrician arrives, and everyone steps aside. Because in Rome, lines, like power, depend on who you are. You see a man crouched by the wall, a worn cloth on his knee, a wooden spoon in hand, above him the words scratched into stone, Libertus, a freedman. Is he free? Yes, but still second class. His freedom is just a lighter version of chains. You look around. The patricians don't see you. The plebeians don't notice you. Even the slaves see you as a threat to their position. A child looks at you and asks his mother, "Who's that?" She turns her head. Ignore it. In Rome, your class begins at birth, and most of the time it ends there too. Rising up is nearly impossible. Questioning it, even more dangerous. And you don't even know where you fit in this system. But one thing is clear. You don't exist. Rome sees everything. But some people, it never sees. Omens, birds, and superstition. The gods decide for you. Today, you noticed something strange in Rome. Some people never decide anything directly. A new job, a new house, marriage, starting a war. The answer to all of them comes from the sky. A group of men are standing in a circle. In the center, a box. From inside, birds are released. Everyone looks up. The birds circle. One turns left, one turns right. Then someone yells, "The god said yes!" And just like that, everyone leaves. That's it. You walk closer. "What just happened?" you ask. A man grins and says, "A new market's being opened. The birds approved." You smile, but he's not joking, because in Rome, decisions come from above. You step into a temple. It's dark, heavy with incense. In the middle, a table. On it, an animal liver. A woman stands with her hands raised, her face a mix of fear and hope. The priest examines the liver, touches it, then nods. Unlucky. The woman drops to her knees and sobs. She had asked about her wedding date. The liver said no. You still rely on Google Calendar, but here they have a prophecy calendar. The direction of bird flight, the white of someone's eyes. sometimes, folds in a goat's intestine. You overhear a senator speaking. We reject this law. The lambs didn't stay quiet this morning. And no one laughs. Because in Rome, questioning the gods is like questioning your right to exist. You try to buy a small stone from a child. He hands you a bracelet instead. This one brings bad luck. If you take it, you'll be sick for 3 days. You pull your hand back. Because even you are starting to hesitate. In Rome, people don't believe to live. They believe so they can live. And even if you don't believe in the gods, you still have to survive in a world where everyone else does. Being a woman in Rome, invisible, restricted, silent. Rome may be vast, but a Roman woman's world is very small. As you walk through the streets, you hear mostly men, togas sweeping, orders shouted. But the women, silent. Most have their heads down. Some are carrying children. Some just watch from the edges. None of them speak. Because in Rome, even thinking out loud is considered improper for a woman. From inside a house, a baby cries. A woman steps outside with the child, but another woman grabs her arm. Don't walk around with a crying baby. It upsets the men. She lowers her head and walks back inside. Just stepping outside comes with rules. In Rome, when a girl is born, the father decides she lives or she's abandoned. Wet nurses raise the girls. By age 10, she's doing chores. By 13, she's ready to marry. By 16, she's a mother. By 20, her voice is already gone. To be a woman in Rome is to live on the side of history that never gets written. She can't enter the Senate. She can't vote. She can't write laws. But she can carry the consequences of a man's mistake without complaint. A man yells at his wife in the street. She falls to the ground. No one steps in because it's considered a household matter. You look away, but she looks at you. And in that glance, there's a sentence. My story isn't written, but you see me. Some women become priestesses, but that's not freedom. It's commitment. They speak rarely. Their heads are shaved. They live in temples, not for themselves, but for the gods, and under the watch of male priests. You pass a stone wall, etched in Latin. Cornelia, loyal wife, silent and clean woman. That's the ideal Roman woman. Loyal, silent, clean, smart, free, powerful. Those words don't really exist here. Now you ask yourself, if I had been a woman in this era, what would I be? The answer is clear. I'd be seen, but never heard. Alive, but unwritten. Entertainment? No. Execution. In Rome, death is a show. Today feels different. The streets are louder. The shouting is more intense. Children walk by holding figs. Men carry wine jugs under their arms. You follow the crowd. You don't know where they're going, but you keep hearing. 2 new slaves are fighting today. You arrive at a massive structure made of stone, arched entrances, hundreds of people lined up. You step inside, and you see it. In the center, a vast arena, covered in sand. Chains hang from corners. Crowds fill the upper levels, already shouting. A child clutches a tiny wooden gladiator, a toy version, before seeing the real one. Entertainment in Rome is bloody, loud, and terrifyingly real. But what's worse, everyone's used to it. The first gladiator enters. His armor is patched, not polished. No mask. His fear is visible. He scans the crowd, as if searching for mercy. But there's none. His opponent steps in, younger, but with a worse weapon, a net and chain. The crowd screams, "Catch him! Take his arm!" You freeze, because this isn't a match. This is an execution. The fight begins. Blood splashes. Dust rises. No one looks away. The crowd is enjoying it. You can't watch, but you can't unhear it either. A woman cheers. Hit his left arm. That's his weak side. And for a second you think, this woman might have nursed her baby yesterday. Today she wants a man's blood. One gladiator falls. The other stands over him. A voice rises from the arena. Should he live or die? You look around in horror. People wait for a thumb. Yes or no? The emperor raises his arm. Thumb down. And everyone cheers. This is Rome. And here, death is theater. You sit in the audience and you realize, to live in this city, you must kill your conscience first. Night falls. In Rome, darkness means danger. The day is over. The streets begin to empty. Windows shutter. Lamps are pulled inside. Wooden bars slide into place. Rome sleeps. But you have nowhere to sleep. You search under bridges. You look into cracks between stone walls, maybe a dry corner, or at least somewhere without wind. But everywhere you check is either occupied, filthy, or dangerous. In Rome, staying out after dark means you must learn to become invisible. Because if someone sees you, they might take your last possession. Or worse, see your face and decide you're suspicious. You find a sack. It's empty, but it smells. You lie down on it. Not on the ground, on sharp stone. And your first thought is, I hope no one kicks me by accident before sunrise. Night deepens. A ray of moonlight flickers behind a wall, then disappears behind a cloud. You hear footsteps, slow, uneven. A group of young men shout nearby. They're drunk, laughing. But at any moment, they could turn toward you. Hearing something? Bad. Hearing nothing? Worse. Because silence often comes before something you won't hear in time. A woman screams in the distance. A baby cries. No windows open, because everyone knows what happens at night stays in the night. You try to sleep. Your back throbs against the stone. Flies buzz near your ears. A bug crawls past your feet. Slowly, like it's used to people here. From the window of a wealthy home, soft candlelight leaks through a curtain. You see silhouettes, laughter. Someone's drinking wine. In silk. You cover your mouth, slow your breath, because the last thing you want right now is attention. In Rome, nighttime isn't for rest. It's for surviving unnoticed until morning. And you, on a stone floor, eyes half open, begin to drift off with one thought. If morning comes, will I still be here? Trying to sleep, but Rome won't let you. Did you survive the night? You're not sure yet, but you try to sleep. Or at least, you think you do. Your back is pressed against a stone wall. You didn't take your shoes off, because if something happens, you might need to run. You place your hand under your head. There's no pillow, no blanket. Softness? Just a memory your body can't recreate. You close your eyes, but then open them again. Because in the dark, sounds grow louder. A whisper nearby stretches out. Footsteps in the distance suddenly feel too close. A rock shifting, an animal scratching. Was that a bone snapping? You're not thinking about sleep anymore. You're just waiting for morning. But your eyes start to close. Your mind loses grip. And in the darkness, fragments from the day rush back in, tying the toga, the blood on the sand, the sponge, the woman's eyes. See me. The child's voice. Who is that? They pile on. Your mind is noisy. But outside, everything is quiet. For a second, you drift off, then jerk awake. Something, a bug leg, maybe, touches your arm. You flinch. Your breath quickens. But you force yourself to stay silent. Because in Rome, drawing attention at night can mean death. You lie back down. No roof, no door, nothing between you and the dark. Your eyes close again. But this time, you realize something. I'm not sleeping. I'm just too tired to keep fighting it. In the distance, a candle goes out. A scream isn't heard again. The street is completely silent now. And you are still awake. In Rome, sleep isn't comfort. It's a privilege. And you don't have it. Tonight, you didn't just keep your body awake. You kept your mind from resting too. One day in Rome, still think you'd want to stay? When you opened your eyes this morning, Rome didn't greet you with warmth. Just a stone floor, sweat, dust, and silence. Now the night is over. But you still haven't slept. One day. Just one day in Rome. And what did you experience? You couldn't drink clean water. Going to the toilet was terrifying. Food, hard bread and vinegar. Sleep, a luxury. And worst of all, you were invisible. The city didn't know you, didn't give you a name, didn't protect you, didn't offer you peace. Rome might be grand, but its true mastery was making people feel small. You close your eyes, and you hear a voice in your head. So what? It was just one day. But in that one day, you felt the exhaustion of a lifetime. You returned to the modern world. Your phone, a soft pillow, clean drinking water, soap, toilet paper, a hot shower. Maybe all ordinary, but now they feel sacred. Was your Wi-Fi slow? Did your package arrive late? Was your coffee cold this morning? Doesn't matter anymore, because now you know. Even your worst day is more comfortable than a good day in ancient Rome. And one final thought. Rome was a magnificent place, but you wouldn't want to live there. So now, the day is over. The city of Rome sleeps. The streets are quiet. The fire's dim. You've survived. Barely. From the moment you opened your eyes this morning, the heat, the stone, the silence, Rome never made it easy. You tried to find water. You tried to eat. You even tried to dress the way they do. But everything felt just out of reach. You saw workers, soldiers, slaves, people with purpose, and people with nothing. And you realized, in Rome, your place in the world isn't chosen. It's assigned. You bathed with strangers. You bled under the hands of a healer. You begged for sleep on cold stone. And no one ever said your name. You watched death become entertainment. You saw people cheer, not for goals or glory, but for someone else's pain. You saw a woman silenced, a child ignored, a man sold like furniture. And the gods? Even they seemed far away. But you made it through, not because Rome welcomed you, but because you observed, you listened, you felt. And in doing so, you understood something deeper. That even the most powerful empire in history was built on the backs of the forgotten. That to truly survive in ancient Rome, you had to lose more than comfort. You had to lose pieces of yourself. But tonight, you return to warmth, to safety, to softness, a pillow, a blanket, a glass of water that doesn't smell like vinegar. Tonight, you sleep, not on stone, but on the comfort of knowing. You don't have to fight for silence. You don't have to earn safety. You don't have to hide. You've lived one Roman day, and now you're home. Close your eyes. Let go of the dust. Let the fire fade. And when sleep finds you, may it bring dreams of a gentler time, a kinder place, a better world. Good night. From ancient Rome. We've reached the end of the video. If you enjoyed this journey, hit the button. Don't forget to subscribe and click to turn on notifications. See you on our next historical adventure.